Hi everyone, this is Debbie Hughes illustration. Wanted to show you guys today how to apply a varnish to a painting. Mainly I'm doing this because I've seen people do it different ways, and I wanted to show you what I think is the correct way to do this. I've seen people pour it, like I use a Gamar varnish, but I used to use Solubar and it was too thick. So now I use Gambar, um, and you only have to apply a very small amount, and I'll demonstrate that to you. But I've seen people take it and just pour it on there, which is insane. I've also seen people apply it and then prop the painting up, which is not a good idea because then the varnish will just run and you'll get streaks in it. And I have been through so many trials and tribulations with applying varnishes and having to remove it because it doesn't look correct. So I'm going to try to show you guys the correct way, and hopefully this will work for you. So anyway, before you do anything, you want to lay your painting flat on a surface. Cover your cover your table with something because I don't want to get this bleeding through. And then I carefully dust off my painting as much as I can because you don't want to get dust in the varnish. And of course I've got a gnat flying around in here. Ugh. Anyway, so I usually take a good brush, one that the bristles don't come out. This is a cheap brush, but it's holding together. Don't go to Walmart. Don't buy their brushes. Try to buy these at an art store or order them, Jerry's or Reckenbach's or any Blicks. And just make sure that these don't pull out. So, because you don't want to use any of your really good brushes. You just want to use something that will get you through this, and then clean it carefully afterwards. So I've poured a little bit of the Gamar in. Oh, actually, I haven't poured it yet. You don't want to use hardly any of this. And you can probably pour it back into the bottle if it's clean, but so I just take barely. So my glasses are fogging up a little bit. I just take just barely a small amount, and then I start applying it. And see, that's actually a little too thick right there. And you want to, when you're applying it, you want to avoid bubbles in there. So, I used to apply my varnishes like one way and then the other, but with this Gamar varnish, you can just go over it very lightly. A little bit of dust in there. And if you don't know what the varnish does, it kind of evens out your painting so that there's a uniform look. It evens out the painting so that, you know, it all looks the same. I had used a different kind of black. I had a kind of a glossier black that I was using, and then I went back and used a matte black, and you could really tell the difference when you look at the painting at an angle. You could tell that the painting, that there was an unevenness in it. So I'm just really trying to do an even coat, you know, and you want to just make sure you cover all areas. You can always go back and do a second coat or a third coat. I don't do more than 2 coats, because if you get too thick on a varnish, then you're going to just distort the colors a little bit. Okay, and I don't want this to be too thick. See, there's a little bit of dust in there. Trying to take that out. Now, and also what I often do is when I finish varnishing it, I take it and hold it up to the light and see if I've missed any spots, and I have. Just a little bit. I've got some spots in here that look like they're not. It's real easy to miss places with your brush. Okay. I turn it around. And one other thing too is when you're working, turn off all your fans, turn off your air conditioner. Okay, there's a little bit of dust over here. Okay, so I let that dry. Often I also take some like little bowls or cups or something and put a piece of cardboard on top of that to keep the dust from like settling on it. So that's how I do this. And like I said, you can also go back and do another varnish if you miss some areas, but that's good to go.